Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am doing look number 3. I feel like I always have to think before I throw my fingers up. Look number 3 with the Wet n Wild Always Naked palettes. If you haven't seen my other tutorials that I've done on this palette, I will have the playlist linked above in the cards. But yeah, I came up with this really beautiful, kind of more neutral bronze makeup look. I mean, a lot of the looks in this palette tend to just look really bronzy, which I really like. I want to maybe do my next look to be a little bit more more natural or not as intense, because I know my looks that I've done so far with this palette are more intense and smoky, but I just think it looks so pretty. And I also show 3 different lipstick options with this look. So if you feel like this lipstick is too intense for you, I do show some other options. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So first I'm just gonna prime my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer. And then I'm just using this brush to blend that on the eyelids. Hopefully my necklace today isn't too distracting with my mic. And if you were curious as to where I got this necklace, I got it at a thrift shop, but isn't it super cool? I've just been so into accessories lately and just fashion in general. I'm gonna be taking this shade here and the Morphe M332. Just getting that shade on the brush, tapping off the excess, and then I'm just gonna blend this in the crease and slightly in the outer V. And this shade is a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna go in a couple of times to build the intensity up. And I'm gonna do my foundation today after the eyeshadow because I think I'm probably gonna have some fallout with the darker shades. This is the first time doing this look. And this is the first time I think using some of the shades in this palette. So I'm unsure if they're gonna have fallout or not. So anytime I am unsure if a palette's gonna have fallout, I just always do my eyes first. Next, in the outer V and last part of the lid, I'm gonna use the shade here. It's like a shimmery bronze color. And I'm just getting that on the same Morphe M332. And I'm just gonna blend this, like I said, in the outer V. So I'm just placing the color like this, first on the eyelid, and then blending some of it up this way, little circular motions. And then turning the brush and blending it into the crease a little bit. But I'm not really taking it any further than like right here. And this shade has tiny little golden sparkles in it, which I think is so pretty. And then I'm gonna go back with that first shade that I used in the crease and just go around the edges. And then I'm gonna grab some of that same color that I used in the outer V, and I've got that on my finger, and I'm just gonna pat that just right here, just to make sure that that's intense. For my brow bone highlight, I'm gonna use the shade here, and maybe I should have waited to do this step until after I did my brows, but I just felt like I needed to kind of blend the crease a little bit better. Next, I'm going in with the shade here. And I'm gonna be using the Morphe M303, just packing that shade here on the brush, tapping off any excess, and then I'm just gonna stamp this on like that first part of the eyelid and slightly over that darker shade. And I'll probably go back with some of that darker shade on the other side of the brush just to kind of blend between the two colors. So on the opposite side of the brush here, I'm getting this bronzy shade that I use in the outer V. And I'm just turning the brush back and forth just to kind of blend those two shades together there. Okay, then I'm gonna take a makeup remover wipe and clean up any fallout, like any potential fallout, before I do my foundation, which I don't really think I had too much fallout, but I do want to kind of clean up the edge of the eyeshadow out here. Just kind of also a little trick you can do if you do your foundation after your eyeshadow. Off camera, I did my base products, my foundation, concealer, powder, and eyebrows. So I'll have the products that I used listed down in the description box, and I'll have some other videos linked if you would like to see me like put on my foundation and concealer and all of that whole process. But in this video, I just mainly wanted to focus on this palette and also just like the other colors that I pair with this, like the blush, lipstick, bronzer. For the lower lash line, I'm going to use this shade, and I'm using the Sigma Pencil E30 to blend this on the lower lash line. So just smoking it out here. And if you didn't want a smoky look, you could just skip this whole process. But I really think it just has the look together really nicely. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of this as well. And also smoke that here. Just take it from here up, connecting it to the outer V up top. And I got like a little speck of fallout there, so I'm just taking like a dual fiber brush and just lightly, whoops, and just lightly brushing that away. I'm going to take a mix of this shade and that shade, just kind of go back and forth with my brush here. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. So it's going to be pretty subtle. It's not going to show up a ton. But just to kind of blend things and just kind of highlight just ever so slightly. And I want to use a blush that is slightly a little bit more warm toned since the eyes are a bit more neutral, leaning a little cool. This is the Flower Beauty Flower Pots powder blush in Peach Primrose. So it's such a pretty, like, sort of dusty corally color. Like, it's not a super intense coral, it's like a little bit toned down. And I'm going to be using the Morphe M241 to apply this here on my cheeks. So I'm just starting up here and then just bringing it down, kind of doing like a half C shape. And this is a completely matte blush. I love Flower Beauty's blushes, like these Flower Pots blushes, but it's so hard to find Flower Beauty anymore. At least like where I live, I don't think any stores sell it. Like there used to be a Walmart around me that used to sell it, and I don't think they sell it anymore. My Ulta doesn't sell it, so it's really hard to find. Do you guys find that to be the case for you as well? Like, is it hard for you to purchase Flower Beauty products, like in store? Okay, and then for the bronzer, I'm going to be using the Maybelline City Bronzer today in 100. This is also another matte product, just a nice matte bronzer. I love the tone on this. It's not like too intense. It's very just light, like a light bronze look. So this is kind of my go-to bronzer once, you know, my tan really starts fading, and once we really start getting into winter, this will be probably like my go-to bronzer. But I really like it. I love the tone on it. It's not too warm toned, it's not too cool toned. So just putting it there on my hairline and just lightly blending over here, like at the hollows of my cheeks. And then just kind of lightly dusting the leftover bits on like my nose and kind of along my jawline. It's kind of lightly bronzing. And then like my go-to favorite highlight right now is from Becca. So the Becca in the shade Opal, like I just have been so in love with this color. So I'm going to use that to highlight today. It's just a really pretty champagne gold. Like look at how beautiful that color is. So, so pretty. I think it pairs really nice with the eyes too. Then I'm just going to take a little bit more to highlight just some high points in my face here. That step is optional if you don't like a super highlighted look. And then I'm just going to go back with my sponge and lightly kind of tap over things. Okay, and then I am gonna lightly mist my face with my setting spray. And I know I have all my jewelry on, so this is not ideal, but I love my jewelry today. I just think it looks so boho chic. So I'm gonna be using the Scandinavia, the bridal makeup finishing spray. And then now that my setting spray is dried, I'm just gonna curl up my lashes and apply my mascara. I'm just using my Tarte eyelash curler. I really like the shape on this. It's not like too overly curved. Like I feel like it just got like a good shape. Especially like if you don't have really round eyes. Like I feel like my eyes are a bit more almond shaped, so sometimes those really round like eyelash curlers don't work the best for me. Okay, so for my mascara, I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. So I'm gonna apply several coats of this to my upper lashes, and on the lower, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Lash Extender. I do find with this Maybelline mascara, it can smudge on my lower lashes. So I don't like using this mascara on the lower lash line. And then like I was saying, the e.l.f. Lash Extender on the lower. Okay, I pulled 3 different lip colors that I want to try out with this look. And you can let me know down in the comments which of these you like the best. So, because I don't really know which of these I want to wear today. So I had a lip conditioner on, so I'm going to take that off. This first one is a Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick, and this is in the shade Toast of New York. Okay, so here is the Toast of New York. I think it pairs nicely with the blush. It's a very warm, like earthy, orangey red color. Really pretty. It doesn't exactly go with my nails, but it's kind of along that same sort of lines. So there's that one. This next one is another Revlon Super Lustrous, and this is Rum Raisin. Okay, so this one's more of a brownish nude. Make sure I don't have it on my teeth, but it is really pretty with this look. Like, I don't know, like I'm kind of leaning towards this one, I think. Not that the Toast of New York looked bad, but I'm gonna swatch these on the back of my hand so we can kind of see how they're comparing. Okay, so you can see that Rum Raisin is a bit more toned down, a little bit more muted than this shade. This one's brighter, warmer. Okay, I might try something really vampy with this. Another super lustrous lipstick from Revlon, and this is in Rum Berry, which is a really dark brown. So let's swatch Rum Berry with the rest of these so you can see how it compares. Okay, so there's Rum Berry. So all those colors are very different, as you can see. So I think I've decided on Rum Berry just because it has been a while since I have worn a dark vampy lip color like in a makeup tutorial. And I feel like I saw somebody's comment the other day that was wanting a makeup look that was like a bit more like with a vampy lip. And let me see, I want to use something to kind of sharpen up the edge. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this Revlon Color Stay Multi-Liner. This is in As Is, which is like a brown. So like if you ever want to sharpen up your lip lines, but you don't want to use you don't want a really heavy lip line type of look, just do it after you do your lipstick. This is the finished look. So let me know which lip color you liked best. Do you like this one that I ended up deciding to go with? Just wanted to say, I don't know if you guys have noticed that like my posting has went down from posting like 3 videos a week, and I was kind of doing 2. But I think right now I'm either going to post 2 or 1 videos a week. I was just feeling really overwhelmed with trying to keep up with 3 videos a week. It's like after I took that vacation and took a break off, I realized like how overwhelmed I was feeling. So I don't want to burn myself out. So I'm just going to be posting, like I said, 2 to just 1 video. And I'm thinking I'm going to post them Thursday and Saturday maybe, or just on Saturdays. So yeah, that's when you can expect to see videos from me. If you haven't seen my other tutorials using the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette, I will have the playlist linked right over here so you can check out the other tutorials that I've done. Like I said, this is look number 3 that I've done with this palette. And yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this today, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.